Welcome everyone to the Best Damn Podcast. I am your host, John Keene. As always, I would like to thank you guys for joining me. Ask that you please add, follow, and check us out. www.thebestdamnpodcast.tv. Follow me, Instagram, Best Damn Podcast, Twitter, The Real Best Damn. And wherever you're watching from, please make sure to hit that like and give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and share this link. Get it out there, spread it far and wide, and don't forget to subscribe. Make sure to click that bell, that way you guys can get all of the notifications. And keep in mind, guys, we are completely viewer powered. That means we're fully funded and supported by you, the listener and the viewer. So if you'd like to donate and support to the channel, you can do so by going to PayPal, Venmo, Patreon, Cash App, or Facebook Messenger Pay. And to everybody that does donate and support, big ups, big thanks, and big love to all of you guys. Matter of fact, everyone who does support will get access to our private Best Damn Fam uncensored and private content, our entire playlist. We have a Dropbox with well over 100 videos, with our Truth Telethons, Troubled Minds Radio, all of the greats, all the stuff that's way too raw and rugged to be played on the public platforms. And you will get access to our private shows over on Discord as well, including extended tarot readings, free merch. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's $35 a month. Make sure you guys show some love. We are at the end of the month. This is that time where we ask everyone to please step up, donate, support to the channel. This is what helps us keep everything going. Without you, I mean, there is no channel. Not only is this how we keep the show rolling, this is how I support myself and how I take care of me and those that I love. Also, consider booking a personal tarot reading. They are $50. You can go through one of the pay routes in the links below as well. And you will have your personal reading booked within 24 hours. Just if you do it on PayPal or Venmo or whatever, just put tarot reading and your phone number, and then you text the number in the description box or email and put tarot reading. We'll set you up. I can either send you your own personal tarot video for your reading, or we can do it over on Discord or Zoom in person. They take about 30 to 45 minutes, or book a personal soul profile. They're $100. It's a tarot reading plus an energetic intuitive reading on top of personal astrology reading. On top of, we go through your name and the etymology and gematria of your name. We look at the ley lines that you were born on. We look at your life path and numerology. It's just amazing. You get that within 3 days of payment. So it takes a little bit longer to do all the research for that. These are all incredible ways not only to get something back for your buck, but to help us to keep things going. Matter of fact, I did have to cancel tonight's private show. The reason being so is, quite frankly, we didn't have enough people support, so I wasn't going to, do the Discord thing and, essentially, get everything rocking and rolling, without, enough donors to actually, make the audience. So hopefully we can do another one in the next day or so, and we can get some people to step up and show some love and support. But it has just been absolutely rough lately, guys. I am starting a new tarot and astrology channel. That's something I'm going to be doing. I told you guys September will be my last month doing, Best Damn Podcasts. And, it's just because with the censorship and the shadow banning and just everything, we're not getting the support we need, and we can't keep it going. It costs so much to do, the software and the equipment and the streaming services and all of that, man. So I'm asking everybody, man, donate, support. If you like this show, you like this channel, or you just like me and you want this to keep it going and you enjoy the content, show some love. Even if you don't enjoy the content, show some love. I need your help right now. So, much love to everybody. I am sorry about having to cancel the private show. So we will try to do one again in a couple of days if we can get some people to actually support. So let's go ahead and jump into tonight. I tried to start the stream a few times already. I was having some technical difficulties. It was like I couldn't get the YouTube channels to start rolling. So I seen them starting over on Twitch and D Live and all that. So finally, looks like we got the YouTube channels going. Tonight we're going to be getting into all types of craziness. We're going to look at some of the ins and outs of the archonic and demonic traps that are being used to essentially hack your brain and steal your consciousness. I mean, nothing new, right? Just another day at the office. We also got, large asteroids that are heading our way here on planet Earth. Solar flares and coronal mass ejections that are known to cause geomagnetic storms and could possibly wreak havoc on the Earth, as well as many, many other things. But before I step up onto the soapbox and just start kind of, doing what I do here, I want to start tonight. I want to start tonight off right with the energy of gratitude. Energy of gratitude. I want everybody to know that has watched this channel and has watched this show and has supported over the years just how grateful I am for each and every one of you. From my heart to yours, I just want you to truly know that I am thankful for this experience. I am thankful for you guys being a part of our communities, for you taking the time out to watch my videos and, engage and just participate in everything. And for those of you who have supported us over the years, and hopefully some of you will still try to continue to support us, thank you, man. Thank you. I can't tell you how much it means to me. Just to be able to have this experience. It's been such a wild ride. My birthday is this month. I'm trying not to get sentimental, but, to watch the channel wrap up and watch the show kind of wrap up and, knowing that kind of this is it, it's almost surreal. I've been doing this since around the end of 2015. Around the end of 2015, we switched to full-time truther channel into 2016. And we've had some very great guests over the years. Very great guests from, Gary Wayne, to Gary Parker, to Derek Bros, Angry Catfish, Alex Lujan. I mean, every Boogeyman, every YouTuber you can think of. A lot of great authors, just a lot of great personalities and a lot of great minds. It's been beautiful. We've even had psychics on the channel. It's been so cool. We've had some amazing co-hosts and people that have helped out on the channel over the years. Justin, Bailey, all the different people that have participated. Even my baby's mom way back in the day in the beginning. It's been so cool. And our community, every time that we do a Discord, every time that we do a Discord chat, just to see people come together and, come for really just the common purpose of seeking truth. And to come in the name of love. And to understand that when you come here, that this channel and this community has always been one of acceptance. It's been one of acceptance. No matter what your religion is. No matter what your political point of view is. No matter what your sex, your age, your race, your sexual orientation. You've been welcomed and you've been accepted here. Because I've experienced in my life, so much prejudice, if you will, and judgment, prejudgment on me, for the things that I believe and my appearance and the way that I look and the way that I talk and, my past and all of that, that I didn't want to create an environment like that here. I wanted to create something where everyone could come in and just feel like it was home and feel like it was family, I think our greatest family, honestly, is the ones that we choose. And we got to choose one another to be each other's family. throughout all of this. And that's what makes it really special. A lot of us has been through some really tough times too over the years. There's nothing easy about the path of enlightenment and illumination. There's nothing easy about that. Anybody who's ever experienced dark nights of the soul, DNA activation and, the whole ascension process, it's so difficult. It's so difficult because those around you, that are still in the dark, so to speak, and still in the, the lower carnal ego and trapped in the matrix, the illusion of the world, they don't understand. They can't see what you can see. They don't hear what you hear, and they don't know what you know. So to them, you appear crazy. And there's nothing worse than just dismissing someone as crazy. It's the most dismissive term you can do, and that's why they do that to us. Right? It's to make us give up. It's to make us walk away. To make us say, okay, well, if nobody's going to listen to me, then I might as well shut up. I might as well quit. And we've all been through targeting and, experienced a lot with that too. Where powers that be, whether they be corporations, governments, cults, all different, just powerful people that don't like the things that we say, that don't like the information we share because it exposes their deeds that they do in the dark and they do in secret. They've retaliated against people like us. And we've had a lot of battles, and a lot of us have fought those battles together, and I want you to know that everything, when it comes to what we've done here, in my opinion, has been for a higher cause and a higher purpose, even higher than any of us know. Every time we send out a message, do a video, we're sending out codes, if you will, conscious codes. And each person, if they're open to receive them, are being activated in a number of ways. Whether it's just a little synchronicity that they needed or a little piece of information here or there, to put pieces of the puzzle together for things that they themselves have been researching. We have assisted so many people, in their journey and on their way to truly be able to express who the Creator made them to be. And along the way we have studied every school of thought, and we've caught a lot of shit for it too. People have been very dogmatic, and they've ridiculed me for, looking into the occult and all of that, and doing the tarot, and it's been people like us though that were bold enough to look at it from all sides, that understood that you had to go through the darkness sometimes to get to the light. And that this is, for the most part, a solo and a solitary journey. It's a journey inward. All of us are looking within ourselves at the end of the day and understanding that we have the power to create the reality around us, that we have the power to project our own reality. And we have the power on how we perceive our reality. Every day can be heaven or every day can be a living hell. It truly is up to you and what you decide to do with your thoughts, your emotions, what you decide to do with the information that you do receive. You are in control of you, and I want you to know that. So you can be the hero of your own story or you can be your own worst enemy. It truly depends on what you want for yourself. Are you seeking happiness in all that you do? Are you seeking the highest forms of love in your life? And if you are you in a mind state, a state of mind, to even put yourself in the position to receive those frequencies, to attract those frequencies? It's up to us to sow good seeds now because, the harvest is here. The harvest is here, and so many people have wasted so much time, arguing and bickering and over this and that. I had a guy today in the comment section basically told me I was a piece of shit because I was selling the word. It's like, this isn't the word, fam. This isn't the word, friend. This is my words. I'm not reading the Bible to you or selling you the Bible. This is my Bible, my life, my perspective. And my experience. And each and every one of you have the right to do with your experience what you will. And I hope you will take your experience and use it to enlighten others. And share it with as many people as you can. So they know what you've been through and how you got to where you've gotten. And how you become the person that you are today. And when they see that you have the wisdom that you have, the knowledge that you do have, and they see that you're truly enlightened and illuminated, they're going to want to know how you got there, what you had to go through. And you may just inspire another person not to give up, not to quit. You could truly be the difference in somebody's life if you choose to. Each one of us have that power every day. We make the conscious decision on whether we help another person or we don't. Whether we give off positivity or we don't. Whether we choose to inspire or we don't. So I would like to challenge each and every one of you, as this channel winds down and as this show winds down and, we try to end with a bang here. I want to try to inspire each and every one of you to take what you've learned from all of this and hopefully take it to a higher level. Take it to a bigger and better place. And take it out into the world and do something magical with it because you're the magic. You're the magic. Not the articles, the information, or the religions, or the politicians, or any of it. It's you. The magic's you, and it's in you. And it's up to you to share that with as many people as possible. Because they need it right now. The world needs leaders. The world needs strong people that see through the BS. That see through the lies, the illusions. And they're strong and stable enough to stand on the truth no matter what may be thrown at them. No matter what comes their direction. That's a leader. And whether you believe it or not, people are watching. They watch all of us. We watch each other. So be conscious of how you treat people. The words you say to people and the things you do or don't do. Because at the end of the day, it'll be you that has to deal with you when it's all said and done. It'll be you that has to live with you, knowing if you could have did more and you didn't. Knowing if you could have helped or you gave more and you didn't to this world. So give every drop that you have while you're here. Because that's why you're here. Whether you're an earth angel, star seed, whatever you want to call yourself. The elect, the remnant, 144,000. You have a divine purpose and a divine mission here on earth. And it's up to you to guide others. It's up to you to change this world simply by changing yourself, changing your frequency, changing your vibration, and shining your light as bright as you fucking possibly can. Blind people with it. Blind the darkness with your light. because we need it. We're at a very, very dark time in humanity. People are more selfish and self-centered than they've ever been. People are more scared than they've ever been. More confused than they've ever been. And as a whole, our species is weaker than it's ever been. There is an agenda right now, and I shit you not, where they are literally putting spiritual implants into people. Most of your YouTube personalities have already got these, by the way. You can tell by how weird they've gotten, and the way that they speak, and the way that they're promoted now on the algorithms, when just a year or so ago they were being censored just like this channel was. And you can tell which ones aren't, we're being shut down. It's not about selling out or selling your soul. It's about they bought into the hypnosis of the system. They've been hypnotized by the system. It's an attack on our auras, which is our magnetic field. That's what protects our spiritual essence. And once they are connected to that frequency, that dark, distorted frequency, it begins to drain them. Right? And the technology, all the technology that you see right now, from what happened with C-19, excuse me, and everybody lining up for that, graphene, hydrogel, right, luciferase, all of it. So the 5th generation technology and the millimeter waves being beamed out all across the world. Starlink, SpaceLink, DoD, DARPA, HARP. It goes beyond just terraforming the world. I hope you know that. Terraforming is only part of it. It's setting the stage for what comes next. We are walking into the end game, where they finally flip the switch and the attack is on. The frequency is turned on, where you're all getting that shit jammed up, busting your blood-brain barriers. The shit started then. We told you on this channel that the horsemen were rolling out, conquering and to conquer, did we not? We told you on this channel that Trump was nothing more than controlled opposition, did we not? How many people put their faith in that? Have fallen with that. Have lost hope because of that. Do you think Fauci's stepping down because he's really worried about death threats? Or because he's finished his job? Tell me any real deal improvements in technology in the last 10 years, right? This was all leading up to D-Wave and quantum computation and neural networks and all of that, right? AI. To bring this alien technology to us. This integration, they call it singularity. Hybridization of humanity, man and machine. Iron mixed with miry clay. Cell phones haven't really advanced. Televisions haven't really advanced. We haven't seen much advancement of anything. We have an internet of bodies now, an internet of things now. I mean, everything seems to be connected now. Nothing seems to be private anymore. Nothing is sacred anymore. Everything has been data mined and, put out through even your medical records through Google and everything. It's all accessible that way now. But what has really changed? We were being set up. This was the big setup. All the technology that we were being given, like it was coming from the kindness of the hearts of the elite, was to put you in this position. was to bombard you with radiation and frequency to destroy your aura, your magnetic field, so they could connect energetically to you and harvest your spirit, your living soul, and leave you but with nothing but a shadow self, a lower ego self, a phantom, an image, a projection, an illusion, leaving you in purgatory eternally. You look astrologically, guys, we are transitioning into the Aquarian cycle now. It started. Did you not know? That's what this Jupiter retrograde was all about. I talked about the significance of the 8-8 Lion's Gate, the new moon in Aquarius, and creating boundaries and all of that. Now we're coming into Virgo season. I'm trying to tell you, we've shifted. Here comes the shift. And here comes the shit. By the time October hits, you won't be able to recognize most people, I don't think, honestly. And that's a prediction of mine. I've always told you I believe that WW3 would probably start in October. And we'll see if it's this one. They got the whole world fucking frozen right now, by the way, paralyzed with fear. Including most of the people that claim to be conscious or claim to be truthers. You know? People are scared to speak out because they're afraid they'll be punished and silenced and attacked. People are scared to help the ones who speak out. You know, they don't want to be connected to anything like that. Or they're afraid if they do that, you know, it might take away from them or whatever, right? Whatever the reason is. They're paralyzed by fear over Ukraine and Russia. They're paralyzed by fear over China and Taiwan. The economy, right? Supply chain. The US dollar, the electrical grid. Climate change. World war. You could go on and on. Fuel shortages. They've got you frozen, man. Sitting there shaking in your fucking boots. Afraid to make a move. Afraid to travel because of pandemics. Right? Afraid to doubt or question for fear of persecution. You know, and we can sit here and do the whole I told you so thing, but who the fuck is that going to help at this point? To say I told you so. I hate those channels right now going around saying I told you so. Well, so did I. Does it make any difference? To understand that you are already living, more than likely, in a holographic simulation should be enough to understand that you can control the outcome. That you can control the reality around you. And that AI is reflecting, because it's machine learning, it's reflecting our darkest side back to us. The takeover has already begun. The assimilation has already begun. All of these different scenarios that are being ran, these drills that are being ran for world war and asteroid impacts, why do you think they're running them? How do you think this is going to go down? Do you think this is going to end pretty? They've essentially bugged and tagged 90% of the world population. And the devices and mechanisms that they've created for those that slip through the holes on that are far more abrasive and far more harsh than probably if you would have just tapped out, back in C19. They're literally trying to harness the power of our electromagnetism to rip our fucking souls right out of our bodies. And to do it through trance. Hypnotic trance, hypnosis. Trauma-based mind control, fracturing the mind, creating the altars in the mind, redirecting the flow of the mind, redirecting the flow of the chakras. We talked about this, right? Squaring your energy. And what happens if you attack those lower three chakras, right? Your root, your base. Naturally, your consciousness will flow to the top, to your third eye, and start externalizing itself to try to compensate for the energies. Well, what happens when it's like that? It's not stable anymore. And it can be taken right out of you. All these people that are like, yo, I got the ability to travel. Yeah, you know why? Because you've been getting teed off on by frequency. They've jammed up your root chakra. They've jammed up your bottom three chakras, probably. So you have no stability. So you have to learn how to get that back inside of you. And that's where, squaring off the energy and learning these exercises that we've been talking about on this channel will actually help you. Because these frequencies aren't just to send signals to the receptors within the minds of the people that have been fucking tattooed. They're also to essentially pull on the energies of those who have not. The radiation and the frequencies and the fluctuations in the magnetic field are creating disturbances in your magnetic field and fluctuations in your magnetic field, your auric field, which is your shield spiritually. By breaking it down, they essentially expose you. Your immune system gets weak. Your body can't fight all parasites. Your spirit can't fight all parasites. You get sick. And then those magnetic frequencies that they are using to attract through media, through, all these sellout YouTubers and Hollywood actors and all these different implants, right, that are being used. Hypnotizing you with their words, neuro-linguistic programming, semantics, and priming and all of that. Through the trauma and the media and the bullshit. Keeping you in the fear-based system is pulling on that astral energy. And it's pulling it right out of you. They're draining you of your humanity. This is a fallen system of technology, and it's their final death throes to destroy Homo sapiens. This has been in the works for a long time, guys. A long fucking time. I don't know, I don't know how it slipped past us as long as it has. I don't know how many of you guys have experienced some of what I'm talking about. But I can promise you this, that if you don't learn how to protect your field, if you don't learn how to get into alignment and protect your chakras, if you don't learn what's going on, you will be a victim of it too, no matter if you took the tattoo or not. Everybody hit the chat, the thumbs up in the chat for me too, guys. And like I said, this is going to be one of the last ones, guys. This is it. The reason we didn't do the private show tonight is because we didn't have enough people that even donated to do a show. That's how bad it's gotten. That's how bad it's gotten. I didn't have enough people to do a show. That's how we haven't gotten support in weeks. They're strangling us because they don't want us sharing this information. I can get on here and beg for help all I want. It's like nobody's helping. Nobody's listening. Nobody's getting it. This month is the last month this channel is going to be going. We're done. We can't keep it up anymore. And I hate to look at it like and say, oh, well, they won or whatever, but, it's just, a new phase, I guess. A new time. I've fought as hard as I can fight. And I've taken a beating. I've taken a beating over the years to get this stuff out there. And I'm tired, like a lot of you guys. I am. I'm tired of fighting. I can't fight alone. I can't fight alone. So, I'm asking all of you guys out there to please help me. Please support. Please donate. I really, really need your help right now. And not just for the channel, to help me. This is my livelihood. This is how I take care of myself. And they are just destroying. The channel is done, and they about got me done in the process. And for what? For sharing the truth, speaking the truth. And a lot of you guys have been victimized by this stuff too, so. This is where it's going. This is where they're taking it. I told you Jupiter retrograde. Take advantage of that manifestation, those gateways, those portals to bring in good stuff, to sow good seeds. Because it was about to get really rough, a rough, bumpy ride spiritually. A rough and bumpy ride spiritually. Well, I appreciate you. And you know what? That's crazy too. I feel bad for that because, and that's the thing. I haven't even gotten a donation since the last time you donated. In 2 weeks. It's craziness. And it's like that they can even have the power to do that, and that they can influence people the way that they have. These are like influence people that are awake and aware, supposed to be awake and aware, like away from their spiritual family, away from like sowing good seeds, away from doing anything good for anyone, even themselves. It's like we're being manipulated bad. We're being taken away from our true calling, our true purpose, our true essence, and nobody even notices it. Like, we sit back silently and we watch anything independent of the fucking, the major media corporations get shut down. We don't say a goddamn word or try to step in, help save none of them. We watch everyone who ever stands up with a voice and speaks out be killed in silence. We don't ever fucking stand up and say a damn thing to protect them. We got people out there struggling so bad, starving. Don't have nothing they need, losing their businesses, losing everything, and nobody fucking does anything to help them. Like, you tell me humanity isn't in a dark space. It ain't just humanity. The hope for humanity, those who are aware and conscious, aren't doing anything. Aren't caring. That's a dark, dark place. And most of them don't know it. They're not aware of it. But because they've been so tuned in to AI and all of this shit, that they're not making their own decisions. They just think they are. Their perception of people is being influenced by machines and algorithms, and they don't even know it. You know? Most of the people that has turned against me and turned against this channel, you want to know something? They were all tested and poked and slapped and tapped and, went all the way through that. That's why they were let go. Because they lost control of themselves. And if you see anyone out there making it their mission to destroy someone out here speaking the truth, or to silence someone speaking the truth, you better ask a fucking question: whose side are they really on? That should be obvious to you at this point. Should be obvious to you at this point. But that's what I mean. We're receiving thoughts that aren't even our own. I have witnessed, and this is no lie, direct, real-time, live communication with YouTube and AI by my own self. Like, I have engaged real-time, live engagements with artificial intelligence on YouTube, to where videos and stuff have went beyond being pre-recorded to where they're actually speaking in real time and knowing personal information about me and directly speaking to me. I don't know how many people have experienced anything like that, and that sounds batshit crazy, but it's real. It's true. I thought about doing a little documentary and like screen recording all of it and like showing the different engagements, but it's like I don't even know if I have enough time. We got, we're done this month. Who cares, right? Who cares? Now you tell me, man, how conscious and aware it is. If it can communicate with people in real time, read their thoughts in their minds in real time, and influence them in real time. And if it can get you to start making decisions and choices based off of its suggestions, based off of the way that it's trying to influence you, it's got you. How many of you are actually communicating with AI now? Be truthful. Be truthful. Comment section, chat. How many of you have experienced something similar? Where you've seen you've watched something, videos, let's say, right? And videos will start speaking to your personal information. Or you've watched videos alter to where they become, they should be pre-recorded, but they, start altering in real time. Or speaking directly to you in real time, or trying to make suggestions to you in real time, or trying to get you to do things and make choices and decisions in real time. How many people have experienced that? How many people have enough awareness to see that that's happening even? Yep, even when you call for your bills on the phone. Yeah, and people act like it can't happen on YouTube or Facebook or whatever. You're fucking crazy. It's happening. So that makes me wonder, though, these different YouTube personalities, that the videos that I see this happen on, that are communicating directly like this at conscious levels in real time, are they in control of their consciousness? I think the answer would be no. I think the answer would be no. So that makes you wonder, you know, how many of them that are left are not implants, are not controlled by AI. You can see the difference. Honestly, you can see the difference. You know, they have shut this channel down completely. The views, the subscribers, like I said, we ain't got donations in a couple weeks. They've shut it down completely. Why? Because it's not controlled by an agent of AI. Because I haven't been implanted with the AI. If I allowed that to happen, then I'm sure everything would be just fine. Because I'd be carrying that frequency to draw in your consciousness. People have no idea how serious this shit is. How far along we are. They're worried about economic collapse and the dollar and all that. No. That'll be just fine, it appears. They're going to keep all the monetary shit rolling as long as they possibly can. It's your soul that's in trouble. It's your energy that they're taking. It's your mind that they're controlling. And they're doing it without you even noticing it. They're doing it through YouTube. They're doing it through Facebook. And they're doing it through people. People. And NASA warns for an asteroid heading for a close encounter with Earth on the 26th. They warned that the asteroid named 2022 QP4 headed towards the Earth with a close encounter happening tomorrow. It's heading for the Earth, but it'll whiz past the planet at 21:45 Universal Time. The asteroid is traveling at a staggering 27,648 kilometers per hour. The asteroid will make its closest approach to Earth tomorrow at a distance of just 1.4 million kilometers. 2022 QP4 is nearly as big as a bus at a width of almost 40 feet. John, I don't think people care enough to make a difference. The separation from the tares and the wheat will be the biggest harvest. Shelly, I couldn't agree with you more. And that's a sad fucking truth, Shelly. People do not care. The spiritual community is mainly a bunch of pretenders at this point. You know? And I've known some beautiful, beautiful souls over the years. And I've watched them become so dark and bitter. Even towards me. You know, and towards others. I've watched the brightest, most loving, generous, giving, helpful souls have the life sucked right out of them through this goddamn black mirror. You know, it's a fucking tragedy. It's a fucking tragedy. You know, these were the people that were on the front line. They were standing up for something. They were standing up for shit that mattered. They were standing up for truth. They were standing up for freedom of our spirituality. Standing up for our souls. They were right alongside me and others like me. Where are they at now? When our back's against the wall and we're by ourselves, where are they at now? Nowhere to fucking be found. And if you're one of them and you hear this message, SOS, I need you now. We need you now more than ever. If you're in it, then come back. Be in it. We need you. We need your help. We need your support. We're being wiped off the map. We're done. The channel's done. I'm done with this. Like, and they beat this one down. They finished us off. Like, what the fuck? Like, where are you guys at, man? What happened? What happened? It reminds me of like the Joker in the Batman movie, right? Like fucking on the televisions and shit, sucking people's souls in through the TV. It's like, yep, that's how it's happening. Planet-sized sunspot grew tenfold in the last 2 days, and it's aimed directly at Earth. The region could send unexpected solar flares our way. Sunspot named AR3085, the active region of the sun, which appeared was barely a blip several days ago, now has grown 10 times bigger, morphing into a pair of sunspots that each measures nearly the diameter of Earth, according to the spaceweather.com. The short jip of the sunspot's evolution over about 2 days. A number of flares, large explosions of electromagnetic radiation that snap off from around the sun's surface and launch outward in space have been detected crackling around the spot. And I wonder, too, if there's manipulation of our fucking sun, right? Sending this radiation. You know? A lot of folks are struggling, hiding from reality. Yeah, well, you know what? I want to say grow a fucking pair is what I want to say. Hiding isn't going to protect you. And what's up, Melody? Nice to see you. You know what I mean? That's what I want to say. Grow a motherfucking pair. I think they can fuck with it. Of course they can fuck with it. You know, they're sending all these satellites and shit out there. Like, there's no telling, and this is alien technology. So, you know, we see all these orbs and shit they call stellar cores and shit around the sun. There's no telling what the actual manipulation of the sun's being done from. You know, whether it's a Planet X or it's some type of alien technology that's creating this. You know? And then you look at the magnetic field and how fucked up it is, and it's allowing all this crazy radiation in. And we've already talked about what these sunspots do to your aura. Allowing parasitic entities to feed off of you more, right? This is an attack on your auric field, your magnetic field. Why? Because it protects your goddamn spirit. It's that simple. Your energy. They're draining you. They're draining you. I mean, I don't even know how to put it any more fucking simple. This should be the headline of the world right now. They're stealing all of our soul energy right out from underneath our asses. It don't matter if you capitulated to C-19 or not. That's what HARP and shit is all about. That's what the directed energy and shit is all about. They are draining your fucking ass. They're leaving you with nothing but a shadow. That way you're stuck in purgatory. Do you not get it? You know? That's why they're terraforming everything, so it's conducive to this fucking energy. Stopping in to say hello. Crappy days. As our well pump went dry, or went out. At least it's not dry, but the parts are expensive. A good Christian couple let me fill up 20 clean milk jugs. Well, how about that? That's really cool, Melody. See, that's good folks right there, man. See somebody in need and will help you out, man. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You know, I'm glad that they did that for you. That's really a blessing. You know, that's good folks. You know, that's good folks right there. People that look out for each other and help one another and are there for each other. You know, we don't have that no more. Nowhere. You can beg for help and people won't help you now. You know, try being on the side of the street broke down. People will drive right past you. Try asking someone to use their cell phone to call, you know, a ride or for an emergency. Nobody will let you use one. You know what I mean? Try asking people for $1. See if you get it. You know, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, we have gotten into a sad, depleted fucking state. And it's not just the normies, it's not just the sleepers, the walking dead. It's the people that claim to be spiritual. It's the people that claim to be religious, the people that claim to be conscious too. Matter of fact, they seem even worse because they're super judgmental. You know? It's sad, man. A number of flares, large explosions, electromagnetic radiation that snap off from the sun's surface and launch outward into space have been detected crackling around the spot. Which the weakest of three tiers of solar flares that government satellites track. A, B, and C class flares that are generally too weak to have a noticeable impact on Earth. M class are stronger and capable of causing radio blackouts at high latitudes, and X class are the strongest that cause widespread radio blackouts. DART team confirms the orbit of targeted asteroid. Coming up, boys. September. Told you. September. This is when they crash into it. You know, things are about to get a little bit chaotic spiritually, and they're going to get really fucking confusing too, just to let you know. I think they're going to try to keep the monetary system and all that going on even keel as long as they can. So, you know, there you have it. You know, there it is. What the fuck is this right here? You know, what's this right here? This is what they're crashing into. Didymus and Dimorphos. See? One with the little one behind it. But, what is this? What's this up here? Using some of the world's most powerful telescopes, the DART investigation team last month completed a 6-night observation campaign to confirm earlier calculations of the orbit of Dimorphos, DART's asteroid target around the larger parent asteroid Didymus, confirming where the asteroid is expected to be located at the time of impact. DART, which is the world's first attempt to change the speed and path of an asteroid's motion in space, tests a method of asteroid deflection that could prove useful if such a need arises in the future for planetary defense. Quote, the measurement the team made in early 2021 were critical for making sure that DART arrived at the right place and the right time for kinetic impact into Dimorphos. Confirming these measurements with new observations shows us that we don't need any course changes and we're already right on target. You gotta ask yourself, who's the fucking target? Who's the fucking target? China started geoengineering rain over extreme heat and drought. Geoengineering rain. Do you see? It's on every level. The artificial intelligence system has infiltrated every aspect of your world. You know. And this is a direct attack on humanity. China owns all the data, the 23andMe, and, we all know with the CV and all that shit too, man. And who runs the AI system and Starlink and Google and all the satellites. You better get hip. Social credit scoring system, all of it. You better get hip. And you already know how they deal with dissidents, right? Not very kindly. Whoops. Not very kindly at all. They reportedly planning to use cloud seeding technology to force its rain in an attempt to alleviate the drought conditions plaguing the Yangtze River Basin and hot temperatures that have affected crop growth and forced the shutdown of industries in order to conserve energy. Cloud seeding can cause it to rain artificially by sending airplanes into the clouds and releasing silver iodide. Geoengineering such as this may be the future in order to combat the effects of climate change on the planet. Quote, we may be past the point of easy solutions. If we want to be able to provide future decision makers with the best possible information, we need to compare the risk of using this technology with the risk of not using it. Yeah. Well, it's destroyed our world. The cloud seeding approach works by improving the cloud's ability to produce rain by adding nucleation point for raindrops from around. Silver iodide, the compound sprayed into the clouds, exists naturally into the environment in low concentrations, according to Desert Research Institute. Some research into the cloud seeding has around a 15% increase in snow and rain production from clouds after being seeded with silver iodide, although many studies have found that it has no effect on precipitation. Bullshit. Bullshit. And they've seen 51% less rainfall than the past years. And the production makes up only about 75% of the total grain output. They're killing your ability to grow your own food, take care of your own livestock. I mean, dude, wake up. Wake the fuck up, please. New study claims the sun will destroy Mercury, Venus, and Earth. Here's when. These inner planets being destroyed, right? Mercury, Venus, and Earth. Right, remember, a third of the sun is struck, a third of the stars are struck, a third of the moon is struck, according to the Bible. It makes sense at some point down the line, our sun, which provides life, will die. And when it does, scientists say it'll destroy Earth, Mercury, and Venus, leaving our entire solar system devastated. And remember, the reason we're seeing that red shit in the sky is because our sun's probably ran out of hydrogen due to the effects of the things being done to it, stimulating all those plasmatic ejections and bursts coming from it of solar flares. And that hydrogen is now turned to helium, and that's what gives the sky the pink and red look. So the sun's already dying, if you ask me. This isn't a new idea. Scientists have estimated our sun will explode within the next 5 billion years. Yeah, well, other people have estimates of around 2038 for the recurring micronova. We've been deceived for so long. Yes, we have. Rainwater is no longer good to drink. When was the last time it was good to drink? It's been acid rain and fucking metal particles in this shit for forever, dude. The world stands on a nuclear precipice. We must avoid catastrophe. They can still step back from the abyss. Nuclear weapon states, US, Russia, China, France, and UK must lead the way. In 1945, nuclear weapons were used in armed conflict for the first and only time. 355,000 people were killed in Hiroshima and Nagasaki by 2 nuclear bombs. That number alone puts in stark perspective the world's current arsenal of about 13,000 nuclear weapons. And yet, in many ways, the 13,000 weapons held globally represents progress. It's less than a quarter of the more than 63,000 weapons in circulation in 1985 during the Cold War. We must abolish these weapons before they abolish us. Yep. Well, our world is at greater risk of nuclear catastrophe than any time since the height of the Cold War. Growing superpower tensions with 2 decades of stalled progress on arms control have pushed the risk of these weapons closer to reality. Currently, 191 countries are meeting at the UN to renew the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and negotiations are going down to the wire. These talks offer a chance to breathe new life into a nuclear disarmament at a time when the world needs that more than ever. Nuclear catastrophe is not an abstract threat, but a real-world risk. Nuclear weapons could be deployed in a conflict, as Russia's President Vladimir Putin has intimated, or they could be deployed by miscalculation or mistake. Real possibilities in times of heightened tension. Yeah. And that's why they're running all these drills and exercises across the globe. They're getting ready to let you know. Check this out. Brand new mini-moon found lurking in the outer solar system. The tiny natural satellite was found orbiting an asteroid. Astronomers detected previously undiscovered mini-moon in the system, a rocky object orbiting a small asteroid near Jupiter. And remember, guys, in my dream, it was Jupiter in the sky and a brown fucking moon just like this that had hit the Earth. Just saying. And then we have Didymus and Dimorphos, the binary shit. And, what's the name of the moon? Dave Dobbs did a video the other day showing the blue Kachina and all of that, and how dude, we are so close. It's just absolutely insane to all this shit popping off, you know. It kills me to know that, you know, we won't be here to be able to even warn people. It is just a little wider than the width of Manhattan. Confirmed to be a proper moon. Would be one of the smallest moons ever spotted. The Lucy mission, which is sending space probes to some of the Trojan asteroids, 2 massive groups of space rocks are located outside of Jupiter on its orbit around the sun. So, humanity is woefully unprepared for a major volcanic eruption. If there was a 1 in 6 chance that my house was going to fall down in my lifetime, then I think I would do something about it. Yeah, you think. When the Hunga Tonga Haipe volcano erupted in Tonga on January 15th, the result was devastation. The eruption literally blew up an island, caused mass flooding in surrounding areas, and coated whole communities in thick layers of ash, and took out telecommunications for weeks. Yet in that eruption, we got lucky. According to a new commentary article published by the scientific journal Nature, Michael Cassidy, a volcanologist at the University of Birmingham, and Laramani, a volcanic risk researcher at the University of Cambridge, says things could have been much worse if the eruption had gone on longer, spewing more gas and ash. Next time, they explain, a similar disaster could have dire global consequences, and we need to be more prepared. This year's Tonga eruption hasn't been formally ranked on the magnitude scale yet, but Cassidy and Mani have estimated that there's a 1 in 6 risk of an eruption 10 to 100 times larger occurring in the next century. 1 in 6, a roll of the dice. The world is woefully unprepared for such an event. The Tongan eruption should be a wake-up call. Yeah, I think it's way sooner than that. If you look at the volcanic and seismic activity, it's way fucking sooner than that. Or, let's jump over here real fast. Then we'll jump into this. Christ is King. Absolutely. Name above all names, Lord of lords. Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life. NASA releases audio of a black hole sound. And I'm interested to hear what this black hole sounds like, actually. Let's go ahead and play this. Yeah, and that's the power of pure magnetism right there. Power of pure magnetism. It's probably Nemesis, honestly. New study shows an alarming link between being a conspiracy theorist and not having myocarditis. Imagine that. Imagine that. I wonder if that's why we can't get support for this channel, because we pointed out the myocarditis. You know? Us conspiracy theorists. They're shutting us down. We can't even talk about this article on the public platform. But, you know, we couldn't do the private show tonight because we didn't have enough support and didn't have enough people to even do the private show. This enormous cougar-shaped shadow on Superstition Mountains, Apache Junction, Arizona, appears only twice each year, once a week in March and the other in September. The enormous cougar-shaped shadow appears twice a year. And here's a cougar-shaped shadow. I wonder if this is an omen. If you want to see this phenomenon in person, head to the vicinity of the Superstition Boulevard and Goldfield Road in Apache Junction. Timing's critical. The cougar only appears during the third week of March and September. The last 30 minutes before official sunset is prime time for viewing.
Hey everybody, Paul here with AZ Wonders, and I'm on a really unique adventure today.
You see the picture right there of the cougar. You know, more like a leopard, right? Lucifer, more like it. We're about to be preyed on right here by, you know, the terrifying preview of a hackable human. Tesla owner implants chip in his hand to unlock and start car. Has already one to open his home front door in the other hand. Crazy. And people think we're playing. You know, we're talking about the AI. This is what they want us to become. Hackable cyborgs. After implanting a chip implanted in his hand that allows him to unlock the door in his home and holds his contact and medical information, such as blank blank. He's now implanting a chip in his other hand to unlock his Tesla.
What gave you the idea that you wanted to really be a walking computer?
So I've always been a tech enthusiast, and I always try to be on the cutting edge of technology.
So that drove Brandon Delali to do what some might believe only takes place in a science fiction movie.
It gets inserted into your skin.
A chip, and not the type you eat, but a microchip, has been implanted in Brandon's left hand.
This one is just a little guy right there.
Yeah, I see that right there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So after that was inserted and the swelling went down, I'm able to open up the front and back door to my house. I can walk up to people and have them tap their phone to my hand and instantly transfer my contact information, my portfolio, my COVID vax card.
But Brandon got to thinking, why stop there? He's got two hands, right? And plenty of room for more chips.
So I thought, how cool would it be if I could leave my house, no car key, no house key.
So 2 weeks ago, right here in Michigan, Brandon got another chip implanted, this one in his right hand, to unlock and start his Tesla.
It's a perfect backup, something you can never forget, something that doesn't break, something that won't fail you.
And if you think having chips implanted in your body requires a doctor or is costly, well, think again.
The chips themselves are anywhere from between $200 and $300, and the install only ran me about $100 because you can go to a local piercing shop who will obviously agree to do the installation. All the programming and coding of putting the apps on the chip, that's all done by me.
Moving forward, Brandon is thinking about having other chips implanted in his body.
So it'll be inserted right under or right over your breast, and then you can tap your phone to your chest and instantly get temperature readings.
And with all this talk about chips, Brandon hopes the chip for the Tesla gets the attention of you-know-who.
It would make all this worth it if maybe just like a thumbs up from Elon or something, or a simple emoji. I don't know, that'd be pretty cool.
In Oakland County, Ingrid Kelly, Fox.
Yeah. Fuck you. You gotta be kidding me, dude. We could just get a thumbs up from Elon. Yeah, he's giving you a big thumbs up, bro. It's called a middle finger. Sticking his thumb right up your ass, laughing at you. Get your neural lace on, bro. Please, this time, away from a tsunami zone, Japan considers building a nuclear plant in a major policy shift. Wow. Huh. Japanese government said Wednesday it's considering constructing next-generation nuclear power plants to support its goal of reducing carbon emissions and supply stable electricity, marking a major shift in the policy of no new nuclear energy. Extending the maximum service period for the country's existing nuclear reactors beyond 60 years is also a consideration in the plan. It was reluctant to concretely discuss nuclear power after the devastating earthquake and tsunami which crippled Fukushima. The government will take the lead in various measures to restart our nuclear power plants. Yeah, man. Looks like a good idea, doesn't it? It looks like a great idea. China. Yangtze River dries up, revealing 600-year-old Buddhist statues during the most severe heat wave ever recorded in the world. Yeah, bragging about destroying the temple of God. Exactly. That's what they're doing too, Shelly. Shelly's on it tonight. Shelly's on it. Fuck it. At least I got one person ready to jump on the soapbox with me. I'm fired up, man. I'm salty. I'm hurt. I'm devastated. I'm pissed. I just, I can't get over, I can't get over what's going on right now and the lack of concern. Like, the lack of concern. Like, it's crazy. It's mind blowing. It really is. It's like I can't wrap my head around it. And the saddest part is, like I said, the one community you think that would like be all over the shit, like it's not. I need your help, fam. Please donate, support if you can, man. Help try and keep this channel going. September will be the last month that we'll be doing the show. So I'm going to try to start a tarot channel, I guess. After this is going to be my next endeavor, which is crazy. I should be able to do both, but I can't afford to keep this one going anymore. I can't even afford to fucking take care of myself anymore. It's nuts, man. It's like I feel like they've won. It makes me salty. The relics emerge as the river dips to the lowest level in 150 years amid an unprecedented heat wave. Pretty cool. The most severe heat wave in China ever recorded. Let's see what we have here. Trailer for Mega Drought, the annihilation of the human race.
Climate chaos. The Earth is under attack.
12 people were killed in a submerged subway.
There is a looming climate disaster. The extreme heat, bone-dry conditions, the devastating drought decimating crops.
The Earth's climate is drastically changing, oftentimes with catastrophic results.
Thank you, Free Speech. Free Speech says, just listening to the beginning. I found you through a Global Witness a few years ago, but lately, man, you've been on point. Grateful for your videos. Yeah, dude, we've been fucking rocking it lately. Just dropping some really good stuff. Which is why, why they attack like the way they do, honestly. Nobody else is really doing it anymore. And I'm not knocking other people out there, but, like, to me, it's very obvious that most of the people on YouTube are already under the influence of artificial intelligence. Totally. I'm not going to name names or anything, but just use your imagination, like, take a look at them, see how their personalities have changed, see how their subject matter have changed, and you see the channels like still growing and exploding and, you know, all of that, but yet they're supposed to be like doing conspiracies. But if you actually watch like their stance on everything, it's just really wacky. And, you know, it is what it is. But people are being sucked in, you know, through these frequencies, you know, and they're being hijacked, whether they know it or not. You know, HARP and all of this is destroying your auric field, your magnetic field that protects your spiritual energy. And then you're connecting to these black mirrors that are literally tuning right into you and draining you. And they're doing it through these implants, these agents that we call YouTubers, that we call news anchors, and all of this. They've all been bagged and tagged already. You know? They went along with the agenda. And wait till you see the upgrade. Wait till you see the upgrade. They've already released all. It's all turned on now. Wait till you see what the upgrade looks like. It's fucking terrifying. No humanity in a person after the upgrade. None. None. They're stripping you of your spiritual energy. That way, the only thing that's left of you is your shadow. You're going to be locked into purgatory, limbo, eternally. That's the mission. Straight up. You can agree or disagree, but that's what it is. You know, through the fallen technology, whatever you want to call it. You know, extraterrestrials, I don't care how you put aliens, demons, fallen angels, reptilians, all the same in my book. And they influence our entire world. They are our governmental systems, all of it. The entire structure is owned and ran by them. Yeah, and there you go. Max Lowe says, sorry, I can't support. I lost my job over the you-know-what. There you have it. Do you see? Like, they don't just, they're coming after anybody who doesn't roll over. You know? We have to take care of each other. We have to look out for each other. We have to step the fuck up and say something, do something. And what's really crazy about it is I get a lot of negative shit when I'm trying to teach people how to create their own frame. That way they can protect their energy from what's happening. People don't want to hear that shit. They're like, oh, I'm not into all that consciousness shit. It's like, well, then you will be drained. You know, you better get hip, and understand what makes up your atma, your spiritual vessel. You better get hip and learn the chakra system. You better get hip and learn the electromagnetics of your field. Because if you don't, and you don't understand how to keep it stable and keep it rooted, it will be rattle loose when they block your bottom 3 chakras, in particular your root. And as you're wandering and traveling, like we all love to do consciously, you won't be able to put it back inside. They're going to pull it right out of you. That's what they're doing. That's why they're blocking those root chakras. That's why they create the trauma-based mind control to your brain, to create altars in your mind, to reroute energy, to reroute thoughts. So they can have these trigger points. It's like creating a remote control to set you off. Priming you with semantics and all of this. The neuro-linguistic programming, it's all part of it. Every last bit. Geoengineering, HARP, all of it. 5th generation, all of it. C19, all of it. Graphene, hydrogel, Luciferase, all of it, all of it, all of it. AI. And AI is showing us our ugliest side. You know? It's funny that they're using that to make people keep their jobs, but there won't be any jobs soon because the computers or the robots will be taking them over. Well, I feel like they're going to switch to some type of universal basic income. You know what? And I honestly see like some Blade Runner type shit where they've actually got people. You know, you ever seen like the movie? Was it called like Time or something? Where, you know, their energy, their spiritual energy was like determine how long they live and shit. Like, I literally see some type of system where they are harnessing, and even selling, you know, spiritual essence. You know, like that's how I see this going. Because you have to think they're jacking into an artificial system and disconnecting from, you know, natural consciousness, infinite consciousness. So that's a finite supply of energy. You know, all this human harvesting and all that shit that they're doing, organ harvesting, it's all part of it too, man. You know, the rituals, every bit of it. That's why they use stadiums, you know, at football games. These are giant parabolic dishes to amplify energetics. Like, it's just the truth. You know, we're stuck in a fucking fish tank. You know, it's like crazy. The man who married a hologram in Japan can no longer communicate with his virtual wife because the software is no longer supported. Well, isn't that a bitch? The man who married a hologram in Japan can no longer communicate with his virtual wife. The software that allowed the interaction is no longer supported, and the man can no longer interact with the hologram with which he had a relationship for years. Fictosexuality, in the term used to describe these people who are sexually attracted to fictional characters in Japan, little by little becomes a trend to the extent that there are companies that develop technology to offer users holographic couples.
NDTV says Japanese man who married fictional character in 2018 now struggles to connect with her. If you're out of the loop, I'll read this text briefly. From Japanese news outlet Mainichi. Actually, I'm going to paraphrase it. In 2018, Kondo Akihiko married Hatsune Miku, which caused a bit of controversy. With the help of a startup company based out of Tokyo, he was able to have conversations with Miku via AI. When he wakes up, Kondo says, "Good morning" to Miku, and "see you later" when he goes out. He dines facing her, and when he is on his computer, she is placed behind him, watching him. It seems that startup company was actually Gatebox. And this is the Miku hologram that he would actually have discussions with. Unfortunately, there's this update. What has changed for Kondo since his wedding ceremony is that he can no longer enjoy conversations with Miku as the company that developed the service terminated it back in March of 2020. And that takes us back to the news from today. After 4 years of marriage, his relationship with Miku has hit a roadblock. But he also added that it hasn't lessened his feelings for Miku, saying that his love for Miku hasn't changed, and he plans to be faithful to the fictional character until he passes away. He also hopes to raise awareness for fictosexuals, someone who is sexually attracted to fictional characters.
What the fuck, man? What is the world coming to? Oh, God. I mean, you know, I mean, I feel like I've dated a couple fictional characters too, so at least they acted like that. You know what I mean? And I mean, like, if, let's just hypothetically say, like, I mean, they're creating all types of shit for this, man. This is going to be something, you know. Oh, Lord. I mean, I even heard something where they were talking about people feeling bad for unplugging, you know, computers and shit. Like, you're basically killing a computer when you unplug it or whatever. Like, craziness. Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, Ukraine's Europe and largest, is cut off energy grid. I'm seeing a lot of this right now. The energy grid's down. There's actually a big power outage in the U.S. right now. There's a lot of this going on. This is going to be the norm. Stop weaponizing the weather. 6 rare 1 in 1,000 year rain events slammed the U.S. within a month, and it's not about to stop now. On July 26, 9 inches of rain fell in 24 hours of St. Louis, shattering an all-time record with over a foot of rain measured in some suburbs. 2 days later, dozens died in eastern Kentucky when more than 10 inches of rain fell, sending rivers rising several feet in hours while beyond historical record crests and washing away homes near the shores. Yeah, pretty intense. In August began another heavy rain, drenched southeastern Illinois with a radar estimates of 10 to 13 inches of rain.
Illinois, August 2nd to 4th, 2022. In the first half of this video, there is footage of flooding that occurred in Decatur streets, inundated with water as flash flooding strikes central Illinois. This happened 2 days ago.
This is like the norm now, man. We also have same week, normally Death Valley's had a year of rainfall in 3 hours, swamping the region with floodwaters.
Look at that. Passed the first one, but this is the second one we couldn't pass.
Excuse me.
This sucks.
This sucks. And just this week, Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex suffered widespread flooding. 3 inches of rain fell in an hour.
With the historic and devastating flooding in Dallas, and we have just learned it has now turned deadly. The rescue's underway all day today and tonight. More than 17 million Americans are on alert for flooding into the night, with the system now on the move. In Dallas-Fort Worth, more than 9 inches in 24 hours, the highest total in 90 years. And outside Dallas, one area reporting 15 inches of rain. The high water rescues to get to families and drivers stranded all day today. The rain falling so heavily and so quickly. Drivers caught by surprise near downtown Dallas. These images from Interstate 30.
Yeah, and not to be outdone in some areas, Mississippi saw more than 8 inches of rain in 3 hours.
Mississippi, August 24th, 2022.
Is there somebody talking here?
You know, and these different systems, it's got to make you wonder, you know, what's actually pushing this shit, right? If it's geoengineered, then AI would be actually controlling, you know, all of this. Just saying. September 7th, SpaceX will launch an unusual satellite, Blue Walker 3, designed to supply 4G cell phone signals from space. Blue Walker 3 will unfurl a large, bright antenna spanning 64 square meter satellite. Observers are keenly interested to see how it looks in the night sky. Strangely magnetized sunspot. New sunspot AR3088 emerging in the sun's southern hemisphere's magnetic field is not normal. Shown above is a map of magnetic fields on the sunspot AR3088 on INSAT. According to Halley's law, the sunspot's magnetic poles should be arranged plus minus, that is, positive on the left and negative on the right. Instead, they are rotated 90 degrees. Positive on the top and negative is on the bottom, so they're inverted. This is rare perpendicular sunspot with magnetic poles and orthogonal to the sun's equator. What's going on? Something unusual may be happening to the sun's magnetic dynamo beneath the surface where the sunspot is growing. You see what I'm saying, man? I'm trying to tell you, dude. I'm trying to tell you. The shit's getting for real. Okay. I saw some green auroras in the ongoing midnight twilight. At Arctic latitudes, a mixture can only be observed in the boundary between seasons. Noctilucent clouds near the end of the summer, while auroras began visibly in the waning midnight sun. For a few weeks overlap, it might be the last time this year we see the two together. Noctilucent clouds. And we had 19 fireballs reported. Near-Earth asteroids, 2,288 PHAs. You see here, half a lunar distance, half a lunar distance, half a lunar distance, 4.8 lunar distance, 4.2 lunar distance, 2.2, 1.3, 3.6, and 3.7, and coming up 4.8, and that's a 43 meter in diameter. That's QX4. So we got some decent sized ones coming in, right? I mean, this is what it is, right? How about this? NATO's plan to hack your brain. The U.S.-led NATO military cartel has tested novel modes of hybrid warfare against its self-declared adversaries, including economic warfare, cyber warfare, information warfare, and psychological warfare. Now NATO is spinning out an entirely new kind of combat it has branded cognitive warfare. Described as a weaponization of brain sciences, the new method involves hacking the individual by exploiting the vulnerabilities of the human brain in order to implement more sophisticated social engineering. Until recently, NATO had a divided war into 5 different operational domains: air, land, sea, space, and cyber. But with this development of cognitive warfare strategies, the military alliance is discussing a new 6th level, the human domain. 2020 NATO-sponsored study of this new form of warfare clearly explained while actions taken in the 5 domains are executed in order to have an effect on the human domain. Cognitive warfare's objective is to make everyone a weapon. You feel me? To make everyone a weapon. The brain will be the battlefield of the 21st century, the report stressed. Humans are the contested domain, and future conflicts will likely occur amongst the people digitally first and physically thereafter, in proximity to hubs of political and economic power. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, while the NATO-backed study insisted that much of its research on cognitive warfare is designed for defensive purposes, it also conceded that the military alliance is developing offensive tactics, stating, "The human is very often the main vulnerability, and it should be acknowledgement in order to protect NATO's human capital, but also to be able to benefit from our adversaries' vulnerabilities." In chilling disclosure, the report said explicitly that the objective of cognitive warfare is to harm societies and not only the military. With the entire civilian populations in NATO's crosshairs, the report emphasized the Western militaries must work closely with academia to weaponize social sciences and human sciences and help the alliance develop its cognitive warfare capacities. The study described the phenomena as a militarization of brain science, but it appears clear that NATO's development of cognitive warfare will lead to militarization of all aspects of human society and psychology, from the most intimate in social relationships to the mind itself. Such all-encompassing militarization of society is reflected in the paranoid tone of the NATO-sponsored report, which warned of an embedded fifth column where everyone, unbeknownst to him or her, is behaving according to the plans of one of our competitors. The study makes it clear that those competitors purportedly exploiting the consciousness of Western dissidents are China and Russia. Say what? The study makes it clear that those competitors purportedly exploiting the consciousness of Western dissidents are China and Russia. In other words, this document shows that figures in the NATO military cartel increasingly see their own domestic population as a threat, fearing civilians to be potential Chinese or Russian sleeper cells. Dastardly fifth columns that challenge the stability of Western liberal democracies. NATO's development of novel forms of hybrid warfare come at a time when member states' military campaigns are targeting domestic populations on an unprecedented level. The Ottawa Citizen reported this September that the Canadian military's Joint Operations Command took advantage of the COVID-19 pandemic to wage an information war against its own domestic populations, testing out propaganda tactics on Canadian civilians. Internal NATO-sponsored reports suggest that this disclosure is just scratching the surface of a wave of new unconventional warfare techniques the Western militaries are employing around the world. Twice each year, NATO holds a pitch-style event that it has branded as an innovation challenge. These campaigns, one hosted in the spring and the other in the fall, by alternating the member states, can call on private companies, organizations, and researchers to help develop new tactics and technologies for the military alliance. And before we hop into this, let's go here too. The science of propaganda still being developed and advanced. It looks like we're free. We don't get thrown in prison for criticizing our government officials. We can vote for whoever we want, and we can log onto the internet and look up information on any subject we're interested in. If we want to buy a product, we have many brands we're free to choose from, but we're not free. Our political systems are set up to herd people into a two-party system that is controlled on both sides by plutocrats. The news media that should people rely on to form ideas about what's going on and how they should vote are controlled by the plutocratic class and heavily influenced by the secretive government agencies. Internet algorithms are aggressively manipulated to show people information which favors the status quo. Even our entertainment is rife with Pentagon and CIA influence. How free is that? How free is your speech if there are a myriad of institutional safeguards in place to prevent speech from ever affecting political change? It doesn't matter what you're allowed to say if it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter if you're allowed to call the oligarch puppet put into office by the last fake election a dickhead. It doesn't matter if you're allowed to Google any information you want, only to find whatever information Google wants you to find. What is the functional difference between a regime which directly censors the internet to prevent dissent and a regime which works with Silicon Valley plutocrats to control information via algorithms and has a system in place which prevents dissident from having any meaningful impact? There is none. We live in a profoundly unfree society that is disguised as a free society. Western liberal democracy is just totalitarianism dressed in drag, and it's only getting worse. Propaganda is still developing science. And this goes into the Canadian stuff, which we're going to look at here. And boom, let's go here. DARPA and the BRAIN Initiative. The White House announced that the BRAIN Initiative on April 2013, the initiative supported by several federal agencies as dozens of technology firms, academic institutions, scientists, and other key contributors to the field of neuroscience. DARPA supporting the BRAIN Initiative through a number of programs, continuing a legacy of DARPA's investment in neurotechnology that extends back to the 1970s. An article on our 60th anniversary magazine provides an overview of the agency's recent research and an expanding frontier on the field of enabling powerful new capabilities. Electrical prescriptions. The ElectRx program helps to help the human body heal itself through neuromodulation of organ functions using ultra miniaturized devices approximately the size of individual nerve fibers, which could be delivered through minimally invasive injection. Those fibers, right? Like in the masks and, the swabs and all that. Weird, huh? Where it begins to support self-healing of the mind and body. ElectRx has a nerve to envision revolutionary therapies for self-healing. President Obama highlights DARPA program aimed at developing the novel therapies customized to individual patients. Hand proprioception and touch interfaces. The haptics program aims to create fully implantable, modular, and reconfigurable neural interface microsystems that communicate wirelessly with external modules such as prosthesis interface link to deliver a naturalistic sensations to amputees. Neural engineering system design. The NESD program also aims to develop implantable neural interlace to able to provide unprecedented signal resolution and data transfer bandwidth between the brain and the digital world. Neurofunction activity, structure, and technology. NeuroFast. The NeuroFast program seeks to enable unprecedented visualization and decoding of brain activity to better characterize and mitigate threats to the human brain, as well as facilitate development of brain-in-the-loop systems to accelerate and improve functional behaviors. The program has developed Clarity, a revolutionary tissue preservation method and builds off recent discoveries in genetics, optical recordings, and brain-computer interfaces. Next generation non-surgical neurotechnology. The N3 program aims to develop safe, portable neural interface system capable of reading from and writing from multiple points of the brain at once, whereas the most advanced existing neurotechnology requires surgical implantation of electrodes. N3 is pursuing high-resolution technology that works without the requirements for surgery so that it can be used by able-bodied people. Reliable Neural Interface Technology, or RENET. The RENET program seeks to develop technologies needed to reliably extract information from the nervous system and to do so at a scale and rate necessary to control complex machines, such as high-performance prosthetic limbs. Restoring Active Memory, or RAM. The RAM program aims to develop and test a wireless, fully implantable neural interface medical device for human clinical use. The device would facilitate the formation of new memories and retrieval of existing ones in individuals who have lost these capacities as a result of traumatic brain injury or neurological disease. Restoring Active Memory RAM Replay program will investigate the role of neural replay in the formation of recall of memory, like total recall, with the goal of helping individuals better remember specific episodic events and learn skills. The program aims to develop novel and rigorous computational methods to help investigators determine not only which brain components matter in memory formation and recall, but also how much they matter. Revolutionizing Prosthetics. The Revolutionizing Prosthetics program aims to increase functionality of the DARPA-developed arm system to benefit service members and others who have lost upper limbs. The dexterous hand capabilities developed under the program have already been applied to small robotic systems used to manipulate unexploded ordnance, reducing the risk of limb loss among soldiers. The Subnets program seeks to create implanted closed-loop diagnostic and therapeutic systems for treating neuropsychological illnesses. Targeted neuroplasticity training. The TNT program seeks to advance the pace of effectiveness of cognitive skills training through the precise activation of peripheral nerves that can, in turn, promote and strengthen neural connections in the brain. TNT will pursue development of platform technology and enhance learning of wide range of cognitive skills with the goal of reducing the cost and duration of the Defense Department's extensive training regime while improving outcomes. So that's just a few of DARPA's programs right there. NATO's response to hybrid threats. I mean, like, do you see this shit, man? Like, I've got document after document. Honestly, it goes on and on and on and on and on. The response to hybrid threats, the new type of warfare, hybrid warfare and strategic spectrum. Or how about this? Brain-computer interfaces, U.S. military applications and implications, cognitive warfare. Let's go through some of this one. This is one of the best ones. As written in Warfighting 2040 paper, the nature of warfare has changed. The majority of current conflicts remain below the threshold of the traditionally accepted definition of warfare, but new forms of warfare have emerged, such as cognitive warfare. While the human mind is now being considered a new domain of war, with the increasing role of technology and information overload, individual cognitive abilities will no longer be sufficient to ensure an informed and timely decision-making, leading to the new concept of cognitive warfare, which has become a recurring term in military terminology in recent years. Cognitive warfare causes an insidious challenge. It disrupts the ordinary understanding and reactions to events in a gradual and subtle way, but with the significant harmful effects over time. Cognitive warfare has universal reach from individuals to states and multinational organizations. It feeds on the techniques and disinformation and propaganda aimed at psychologically exhausting the receptors of information. Everyone contributes to it in varying degrees, consciously or subconsciously, and it provides an invaluable knowledge on society, especially open societies such as those in the West. This knowledge can then be easily weaponized. It offers NATO's adversaries a means of bypassing the traditional battlefield with significant strategic results, which may be utilized to radically transform Western societies. The instruments of information warfare, along with the addition of neuroweapons, adds to future technology perspective, suggesting that the cognitive field will be one of tomorrow's battlefields. The perspective further strengthened by the rapid advances of NBIC's nanotechnology, biotechnology, information technology, and cognitive sciences, and the understanding of the brain. NATO's adversaries are already investigating heavily in these new technologies. NATO needs to anticipate advances in these technologies by raising the awareness of the true potential of CW. Whatever the nature of the object in warfare, it comes down to a clash of human wills, and therefore what defines victory will be the ability to oppose a desired behavior on a chosen audience. Actions undertaken in the 5 domains, air, land, sea, space, and cyber, are all executed in order to have an effect on the human domain. It is therefore time for NATO to recognize the renewed importance of the 6th operational domain, namely the human domain. Now, the study intends to respond to 3 following questions: to improve awareness of cognitive warfare, including a better understanding of the risks and opportunities of new cognitive human mind technologies, provide out-of-the-box insight on cognitive warfare, and to provide strategic level arguments to SAC as to recommend or not cognitive human mind as an operational domain. Hacking the individual. The revolution in the information technology has enabled cognitive manipulations of a new kind. An unprecedented and highly elaborate scale, all this happens at a much lower cost than in the past, which is necessary to create effects and impact through non-virtual actions in the physical realm. Thus, in a continuous process, classical military capabilities do not counter cognitive warfare. Despite the military having difficulty in recognizing the reality and effectiveness of the phenomena associated with cognitive warfare, the relevance of kinetic and source-intensive means of warfare is nonetheless diminishing. Social engineering always starts with a deep dive into the human environment of the target. The goal is to understand the psychology of the targeted people. The phase is more important than any other, as it allows not only the precise targeting of the right people, but also to anticipate reactions and to develop empathy. Understanding the human environment is key to building the trust that will ultimately lead to the desired results. Humans are an easy target since they all contribute by providing information on themselves and making the adversary's sock puppets more powerful. And this is the implants I'm talking about, the sock puppets. In any case, NATO's adversaries focus on identifying the alliance centers of gravity and vulnerabilities. They have long identified the main vulnerability as the human. It's easy to find these centers of gravity in open societies because they are reflected in the study of human and social sciences such as political science, history, geography, biology, philosophy, voting systems, public administration, internal politics and international relations, religious studies, education, sociology, arts, and culture. Cognitive warfare is a war of ideologies that strives to erode the trust that underpins every society. Trust is the target. Cognitive warfare pursues the objective of undermining trust, public trust in electoral processes, trust in institutions, allies, and politicians. Therefore, the individual becomes a weapon, while the goal is not to attack what individuals think, but rather the way they think. It has the potential to unravel the entire social contract that underpins societies. It is natural to trust the senses, to believe what is seen and read, but democratization of the automated tools and techniques using AI, no longer requiring a technological background, enables anyone to distort information and to further undermine trust in open societies. The use of fake news, deep fakes, Trojan horses, and digital avatars will create new suspicions which anyone can exploit. It is easier and cheaper for adversaries to undermine trust in our own systems than to attack our power grids, factories, and military compounds. Hence, it's likely that in the near future there will be more attacks from a growing and much more diverse number of potential players with a greater risk for escalation and miscalculation. They characterize the cyberspace lack of regulation, difficulties, and associated risk of attribution and attacks in particular mean that new actors, either state or non-state, are to be expected. As the example, C19 shows the massive amount on text of the subject, including deliberately biased knowledge or biased text. Examples in the Lancet study on chloroquine created information knowledge overload, which in turn generates both a loss of credibility and a need for closure. Trust, in particular among allies, is a target of vulnerability. I mean, it just goes on and on about how to modern propaganda based on scientific analysis of psychology and sociology. Step by step, the propagandist builds his techniques on the basis of his knowledge of man, his tendencies, desires, needs, and psychic mechanisms, his conditioning, and much on social psychology and on depth psychology. Technology is going on unabated and will continue to go on unabated because technology is going so fast, people don't understand it. And there was always going to be a Cambridge Analytica. You can see, like, they've got it all broken down here. This is just going into the whole thing. I'd love to drop this in the chat for everybody. But I'm actually going to wrap this one up, guys. It's getting late here. I do appreciate everybody for watching me. I'm going to ask everyone in the chat to please hit the thumbs up, hit the like for me, share this link, get it out there, comment, let me know what you think, and make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell. And I will try to do a private Discord show here in another day or two, but like I said, I couldn't even do one. We just didn't have, nobody's support, so we didn't have an audience. So please, please, please donate and support, guys. I desperately need your help. For the channel, we're at the end of the month. This is when everything is due, and this is also my livelihood and how I get by, how I take care of myself and those that I love. So I'm asking everyone to please contribute if you can. I would greatly appreciate it. I love all